Good morning, everyone. I wanted to start with a prayer, but I will let Nayaswami Dhyana lead us in a prayer. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's stand. Let's greet the day with a prayer. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great Masters, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lahiri Mashaya, Swami Shri Yukteswarji, beloved Master, Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, bow at thy feet. We affirm thy presence. In our hearts. In our lives. Help us to attune. Ever more deeply. To thy loving guidance. In our lives. We are thine. Be with us today. In this class. As joy. As love. As peace. We are thine. Be thou ours. Om Shanti. Welcome and take your seats.
Thank you, Dhyana ji. So, almost everyone knows Nayaswami Dhyana, but for those who may not know her, Dhyana has been with Ananda for many decades. She's very young, but she started very young age.
1978.
1978. So you missed the big fire at Ananda Village, 1976. Swami Kriyananda started the work of Ananda in India in 2003, and right after that, in 2005, Dhyana went to India. She moved there, started the work with Swami, and since then, the work has, to describe it very mildly, it has exploded. Throughout India, there are more than 14 centers. There's, I'll let Dhyana talk about that, but it has gone beyond anybody's expectations. But it's all masters in Babaji's work. And Dhyana is the co-director of Ananda India with Nayaswami Dhyana. And we are really blessed to have her today to lead us in this workshop on affirmations for self-healing. Thank you so much for coming and joining us in this morning. Thank you, Dhyana.
Well, my brother here, Michael, told me last time I was here, he said, well, you haven't come to South Bay. Why? Why don't you? So I promised in January when I was here, I said I will come. So it's a beautiful center. You all are very lucky to have such a beautiful place, and I'm lucky I can share with you. So I hope you're here for at least an hour and a half. Because once you get going, you can't stop on these topics, and I have quite a lot to share with you. If you need to go out after a while, you can, but I'm going to keep going. So we're going to do a lot of things that involve affirmations, super conscious living exercises. I've asked my friend Paul here to demonstrate, to do them with you rather. We're going to do just a little bit of everything, a couple of yoga postures, easy ones, a chant. All these will have affirmations in them. A chant affirmation. We're going to do affirmations by Paramahansa Yogananda Ji out loud. We're going to do a song affirmation at the end, and sandwiched in the middle, I'm going to tell you about affirmations and give you a lot of information that I think will help you in your daily lives. So welcome again. I'm here for another few days in America, and then I fly back to India, but I didn't want to miss coming here. So I'll invite Paul. Would you come?
Thank you, Dhyana, and so good to be here. Okay, thank you so much. So let's come standing, unless body doesn't want to, and that's okay too. You can always visualize, and just do what you can if there's any physical limitations, but otherwise we're going to walk in place with a sense of enthusiasm, like we're Yogananda would come out on the stage to a crowd of people in Carnegie Hall and say, "How is everybody?" I am ready, I'm awake, and 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 ready. The thing is, I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. More. I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. I'll wrap the body. I am master of my body, master of myself. I am master of my body, master of myself. I am master of my body, master of myself. Now rub your arms vigorously. Awake, rejoice my body cells. 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 Awake. It's like a spiritual shout. Rejoice my body cells. Awake. And wrap the skull. Be glad, my brain, out loud. Be wise and strong. Be glad, my brain. Be wise and strong. Be glad, my brain. Be wise and strong. One more. Be glad, my brain. Be wise and strong. Now massage the scalp. Awake, my sleeping children. Awake. Awake, my sleeping children, 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 awake. Awake. Now relax the arms down in Tadasana. If you feel tense and relax the body with will, relax and feel. Already through these powerful words of Swami Kriyanandaji, the vibration of Master, awakening with affirmation. It's from the conscious mind to the superconscious awareness. You can do a little bit to take interiorize that with some breathing. Take one hand to the belly, one to the heart. A little full yogic breathing to begin. So keeping the gaze at the eye of infinity, spiritual eye. Breathe in the belly. The ribs and the heart. Expand the collarbones, the shoulder blades. Through the nostrils, exhale out the heart, the ribs, the belly. Inhale through the nostrils, breathe in the belly, the ribs, the heart, stimulating the heart chakra. Exhale out the heart, the ribs, and the belly. Now you can continue with this, or we'll add on with Dirgha Pranayama. So if you wish to, sweep the hands as you breathe, guiding the energy in the belly, the ribs, the heart. Now lift the arms up like lotus petals. Inhale. Now bend the knees. Sweep the hands in front of the heart. Exhale out the heart, the ribs, and the belly as you allow the body to release forward like a waterfall. Sweep the hands up. Magnetically breathe. Draw the energy up in the belly, the ribs, the heart. Lift the arms up, palms up. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale out the heart, the ribs, and the belly. Do two more at your own pace. Interiorize the spine and the brain. As Master would say, spine and brain are the altars of God. Next time you come up, wait until you do. Let's open our arms, slight backward bend, palms open. That sense of devotion, bhakti, receiving the light, a downpouring of spirit. And relax your arms down. Relax the shoulders. Spine is tall. You You can actually bring the feet closer, if not quite touching, and shoulders relaxed. As if an invisible thread is lifting each vertebrae. Let the crown rise. Let the front ribs soften in. Back ribs are lifting. Feel the breath through the nostrils. Now we're going to take the arms up. Inhale. Hook the thumbs. I'm going to mirror you. So let's stretch up and over the upper body to the left. Hips to the right. There you go. Front ribs in. Back ribs lifting. And if possible, stay light on the back heels. Now, taking deeper the affirmation. Focus of our class today. Affirming these great qualities that Yoganandaji shared: strength, inner vitality, courage. And if you feel to mentally affirm strength and courage, fill my body cells, strength and courage. Fill my body cells, strength and courage. Fill my body cells. Now, when you come up, lift the arms, perhaps come on the toes. If you can reach the ceiling, I'll give you a magic ring, okay? And just inhale and open the arms. And then lift the shoulders if you wish and relax gently the shoulders back. Keep the eyelids closed if you can, as in meditation. Interiorizing the affirmation, strength and courage. Fill my body cells, strength and courage. Fill my body cells. Okay, we have the other side to do. So teacher of mine would say, at least we don't have 6 arms and 6 legs, which is good. Lift the hands up. Now, hook the thumbs, and perhaps hook the thumbs the less familiar way. Come on the toes if it's available. Inhale. And then let the upper body stretch to the right. If it helps, you can bend that right knee a little bit or not. Hips perhaps move in the opposite direction. And again, with this sense of bhakti, devotion, offered from the fire in the belly through the heart, the eye of infinity, an expansion of courage, faith, vitality, and affirmed strength and courage. Fill my body cells, strength and courage. Fill my body cells. You have the getting there and the being there. Just relax into the asana. Strength and courage. Fill my body cells. Let's come up. On the inhale, lift up. See if you can touch the sky. Inhale. Exhale like yoga superheroes. And relax the arms down. Relax the shoulders. Keeping the eyelids closed. Gaze at the eye of infinity. Strength and courage. Fill my body cells. Strength and courage. Fill my body cells. One more step posture. I can feel a lot of prana in this room. It's wonderful. Energy. Everybody. So we're going to have our feet hip width apart now. And I think I'm tucking my shirt, actually. Which I ought to have done to begin with, but that's okay. So now, what we'll do is we're going to take the arms up. Inhale. Now, bend the knees, and let's, because we haven't had a lot of time to warm up, we haven't had next to no time to warm up. So let's take the hands on the thighs. Roll the shoulders back. Now reach the sit bones up where the back wall meets the ceiling in that direction. Lengthen your crown. Roll your shoulders back. Spine is long, but there's a natural curve here, right? And then lengthen your cervical area, the neck. Now we can stay here, or we can come out, or take the arms by the ears. Inhale. Keep a generous bend, if you need, in the knees. And then start, in fact, I would keep a generous bend in the knees. And start to let the hands come down. Now, if you cannot reach your toes, you can hold the backs of your calves, or you can hold the elbows. Or some of you take the thumb and first two fingers around the big toes, if it's available. It's perfectly fine to keep the knees bent if needed. And then let the sit bones come towards the inner arches of your feet. These look nice. Good. And now the affirmation. Now feel like nothing on the earth plane, the material plane, can hold your soul back. Gazing at the eye of infinity, affirm. Nothing on earth can hold me. Nothing on earth can hold me. Nothing on earth can hold me. Downpouring of spirit of grace flowing through you. Nothing on earth can hold me. Now to come out, let's bend the knees. Let's go in reverse so take the hands on your thighs. Roll the shoulders back, bend the knees, hips reaching up again, and then take your arms by the ears, and then rise up, lift up maybe on the toes, inhale, and exhale, open your arms, relax, lift, maybe rest the shoulders back, away, do rest them away from the ears. With eyelids closed, keep the gaze lifting as in meditation. Nothing on earth can hold me. Nothing on earth can hold me. Nothing on earth can hold me. When you're ready, just come seated.
Now we'll go right into a chant affirmation. So sit with the spine straight. Come away from the back of the chair. The words are very simple to this chant by Swamiji, words of Yoganandaji. Joy, 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 ever new joy, which is the quality of our soul. So if you know, sing right away with me. If not, hear it a couple of times, then join. Joy, 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 ever new joy, 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 ever new joy, 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 ever new joy, 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 ever new joy, 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 ever new. Let's meditate briefly now. Fixing the gaze, the point between the eyebrows, spiritual eye. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Yes. Welcome again, friends. You're welcome to sit closer if you want, or on cushions, or if you're not comfortable in the back, please come up to the front. I was realizing while I was chanting there that a devotee's life, a disciple's life, a yogi's life, one who's on a spiritual path, your life is an affirmation of joy. In the beginning, it may seem like a struggle. Everyone goes through ups and downs, hard times, but I look at the 45 plus years I've been on the path with these gurus, and it's been an affirmation of joy, of the soul, of who and what you are inside yourself. It comes out more and more and more, and it radiates into your life. And your face becomes an affirmation. You can just walk down the street. People's eyes are an affirmation of who and what they are. Your voice is an affirmation. Your posture is an affirmation. It was so beautiful to see Paul leading the postures. Of course, your thoughts, the inspirations you have, the ideas, the insights are all an affirmation of who and what you are. And in the spiritual life, we're through meditation, through yoga, through energy exercises, pranayama, through all of our spiritual teachings, we're unpeeling all the things that we aren't. Personality, emotions, attitudes, wrong or right. You're peeling away what you aren't. And as you do that, who you are just comes out. It's already there. This is the thing to remember. You're not creating, you're unfolding. And as we do everything that we've done already in the past half an hour, and you add more to that, you gradually, like a seed. I was just at Ananda village at springtime at Ananda, and the bulbs, the tulips, were under a lot of snow. I don't know how many feet, but quite a few. But they're still there. They were still there. And then it rained. And they were trying to come up. And then the sun came out. So in our spiritual life, we're just giving the sun over the growth of those bulbs or seeds. They're deep within us. And if we're in the right environment, look at this beautiful center here. You're with people who are like-minded, like you are, who are uplifted, who are following something that's uplifting in their lives. You're doing some teachings, the books you read, the music you listen to. All of these things are bright light onto your life that makes those seeds sprout and come up. Then you realize you become a flower. And there are many types of flowers, aren't there? Maybe you're a tree, maybe you're a flowering bush. But you look and you just say, look what's happening over the years. Don't ever doubt that's there. The seed is there. And everything we do that's positive is an affirmation. This is my true self, my true reality. And so we come to classes like this to bring out the sun. You know, it was foggy earlier. This is where I was staying with Padma and Arnab. And then we drove a little bit and there was the sun. So today I want to share with you ways that you can make your life an affirmation of joy. Take what you can, leave what you don't want to have, but something from today I'm sure will be able to help you along in your path. I'd like to start with the quote. A couple of them, in fact. This one is, I found this on the internet about the happiness course that, I'll just read out to you. The happiness course, which began in 2018, became Yale University's most popular class in over 300 years, according to the university. In April 2019, the professor, Santos, had 22,000 new enrollments. But in April 2020, as the pandemic started to take off, the class saw 860,000 new enrollments. This is a happiness course at Yale. And it only continued to skyrocket. Amazing, isn't it? And I found this too about happiness and attitudes. Negative attitudes and feelings of helplessness and hopelessness can create chronic stress, which upsets the body's hormone balance, depletes the brain chemicals required for happiness, and damages the immune system. Chronic stress can actually decrease our lifespan. Amazing. And then from Paramahansa Yogananda Ji. I'll show you several books later, but this one is one of the best on affirmations. Yogananda Ji's own words. Man's word is spirit in man. Words are sounds occasioned by the vibrations of thoughts. Thoughts are vibrations sent forth by the ego or the soul. Words that are saturated with sincerity, conviction, faith, and intuition are like vibration bombs, which can explode the rocks of difficulties and create the change desired. And finally, he says, amazing part here. Another fact should be remembered, this is the last part. Though death may be the necessary end of the body, according to present human knowledge, it has no fixed time. Its time can be modified or changed by the superconscious power of the soul. Then he ends with, it is better to die if death has to come with the conviction of being cured than with the consciousness of a mental or bodily ailment being incurable. That is a powerful statement. And so let's go into now about affirmations. We know that there are thoughts that we have that are helpful in our life and create positivity around us, and there are thoughts that draw our energy down. Some thoughts bring our energy up, and our aura increases. When our aura of light and energy around the body from just your thoughts. You walk in a store, hello, how are you? You see somebody that you haven't seen for a while, hello, nice to see you. These are all thoughts that you're putting out, and mentally or saying them out loud. And so they're thoughts like we say, good morning, or I like this, or this is lovely, or how beautiful the flowers are, or lovely to see you, or whatever. These are all creating a positive energy. Whereas we go with the negative thoughts, the negative words, I can't, I don't like it, it's too difficult, why did this happen to me? These all just bring the energy right out through your toes And you wonder, how come I don't have energy? Then you wonder, what's wrong with my life? Positive thoughts and words bring opportunities in your life. They bring people who can help you into your life. They bring finances, financial help into your life. Inspirations, insights. But you have to keep that energy flowing. And I'm learning Hindi. Some of you don't know. I've been learning for some time. And I remember once Swami Kriyananda, my teacher, said, Dhyana, this was years back. I've been in India maybe 20 years. Why don't you learn Hindi? He said it several times, and I can't. That was in my mind. I can't. Too hard. I'm too old to learn a new language. You can just think of all the things. Finally, Swamiji's last words to me before he left India were the same ones. Why don't you learn Hindi? And I had learned a little bit. So I said to Swamiji, we were in the car, almost at the airport, to drop him off, to leave India. And he said from the front seat, and he said, why don't you learn? I said, why? And then I went, what, that's the wrong thing. And he said, why not? Why not? And I've learned. Now I can give Kriya Yoga initiation in Hindi. This is it's a miracle. But I said that to say, everyone has things that you say, too hard, I can't. Let somebody else do it. Maybe later. But if you take one step at a time, you'll be able to accomplish more and more things. And I'll get more and more into that with you. Our whole teaching is about affirmations, isn't it? You look at, what did we do today? Super conscious living exercises. That's about affirmations. We did yoga postures with affirmations. We did a chant. It was an affirmative chant, no? We do, what are the techniques that we do? Hong Sa, that's an affirmation, isn't it? I am spirit. What else do we do? Om. I am Om. No? What about the books we read? They're all positive. Is any one of those books negative? Not one. What about the music we listen to? It's all positive, isn't it? What about all the chants? They're all positive. What about coming to the centers? You come to the center, do you feel happy? Yeah. People are up, it's happy. It's a happy place, isn't it so? You go to Ananda village, energy's up. You go to Ananda, India, energy's up, way up. You go to Ananda in Europe, energy's up. The people you're around, they're positive. For the most part, you come in Ananda Center. If you came here and said, I don't feel like teaching today, I'm going to go to the beach. You would say, what's wrong with her? Everything we do in Ananda is affirmative. Keep that in your mind. It's affirmative. Every aspect that Master gave us is affirmative. Even Kriya. You're raising energy up. I don't know how many have Kriya and don't have Kriya, but what are you doing with Kriya? Basically, bringing energy up to the spiritual high. The seat of super consciousness, higher awareness, expanded awareness. Isn't it so? And so keep in mind that our path is completely 100% affirmative. Let's look at Master's life. As Paul so beautifully said, Yoganandaji, have you seen the video clips of him? Powerful. He didn't have one negative cell in his body. You saw he was walking down New York City, down the street, just, whoa, such Shakti. How did he get that Shakti? He's all completely positive all the time. He would run out, he would run on the stage. He didn't even walk on the stage of his talks, he ran. Run. He was so enthusiastic. And I'll get to that in just a moment, but think of, okay, so think of it, what are the positive attitudes and thoughts? Positivity. I'm awake and ready. I'm positive, energetic, enthusiastic. No? And when Swamiji was walking by Yoganandaji one day, Swami Priyanandaji, Master Yoganandaji said, "How are you, Walter?" Like you'd say to a friend, "How are you?" And Swamiji went, "Well," Master said, "That's good." He just stamped it out because he was super positive. And so we think of that. And other attitudes that are positive are, think of willingness. Willingness. People say, "Well, would you help me with this?" Yes. Enthusiasm. Coming to whatever you do with enthusiasm. What other qualities are positive? Selflessness. Giving. These are all things, if you do them, sharing with other people. No? I have pictures from Ananda village of the tulips. I sent them around the world. You gotta see this, you gotta see this, you gotta see this. How do you feel afterwards? You feel good. You feel uplifted, you feel positive. So sharing, caring, willingness, enthusiasm, giving to other people. Take any of those. Just start working with it and you feel like, what happens? You feel happy. Isn't it so? You do anything like that, who gets the blessing? You get the blessing. And so those are all positive attitudes and qualities to develop. And here's ones to stamp out. Doubt. Just don't know about that. You can't get up and get moving. Doubt is a big one. What's another one? Fear. Another? Anxieties. The overall negativity. There's a lot of things that people, everything, here's another one, bitterness. I feel bad. You know, I saw some people in India. I was getting on a plane to go somewhere, and I looked at the other people getting on, and this was just recently, and I looked at their faces. I felt sad. And I thought, most of them looked like their life didn't work out. Have you seen those kind of faces?
Yes.
Their life didn't work out. And I said, thank you, God. My life worked out. And it's working out. But you look at a lot of people, there's bitterness in the face and the eyes. It's not a happy look. Their life didn't work out. But you can still pick it up. There was a woman 80 years old who came to Yoganandaji. Her life hadn't worked out. He took her on as a disciple. He gave her Kriya. And she didn't live much longer, but Master said she was free in God by the time she left this earth. Isn't that a beautiful story? There was another man who was, maybe I told you this, but he was a spastic. He could barely walk. He couldn't talk very well. He was a disciple of Master. Swamiji told us about him many times, and he said that it was painful to hear him talk. But he would come serve at the classes, hang on the back of the chair because he could barely walk. And then one day, Master was walking by this woman disciple. I don't know exactly where it was, but the woman disciple kept thinking, why doesn't he heal him? I know he can heal him. Why doesn't he take pity on the man and heal him? And Master caught the thought. And he passed by the lady and he looked at her and says, isn't it wonderful? The guy's name was Horace. That Horace is working out all the karma that put him in that body in this lifetime. He's working it all out. This lifetime, isn't it wonderful? I mean, Master was always, isn't that wonderful? And the woman never asked about him again. And then what happened at the end of the man's life, he couldn't even stand up anymore. He was still positive. He was lying on the grass in Encinitas. There were flower beds. He just pulled the weeds lying down. Still serving. Isn't that beautiful? Just whatever, just think, what can I do? Not, I have to go, what can I do? Anything, just keep the energy moving. And you feel good. Did he feel good? Darn sure he felt good. He was deeply blessed. And so those are the attitudes to work with. And going back to Master, he would, run across the stage, hair flying. I mean, you couldn't be negative around him. And if you were, he made you go to your room. Work on it. He didn't want you around, because it wasn't right. So then he would shout out, like Paul said, this is here. He was Indian in the 20s. It wasn't like he was popular right off. He gained popularity. Why? Positivity, enthusiasm, joy, magnetism. Even without the teachings, people said every eye was on him when he walked down the street. It was like, who is that man? He had so much vibrant energy. And so he would ask the crowd. They were like sleeping, He says, how feels everybody? How is everybody? Then he had them chanting. Like we chanted maybe, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. He had them chanting one chant. An hour and a half. Oh God, beautiful. At thy feet, oh, I do bow. An hour and a half, people were standing there going into an ecstatic state. People were healed. Why? The power of his magnetism and his speech and his enthusiasm for God. Let's face it, that man was enthusiastic. How could he change so many people's lives? Millions of lives. Look at the seeds he planted in the 20s. It was still, boom. It was like he just exploded. And that energy's still going like a huge wave. And millions of people, they read Autobiography of a Yogi, they want to learn how to meditate. There's like 1% positive. And then his disciple, Swamiji, I lived with him. I knew that man. He didn't let you get away with anything. Let's do this. Okay, let's do that. And you're just barely on the first thing. Now let's do that. Let's do more of this. And, I was just taken by that energy, and he didn't let you rest because you have so much more to give. And I gotta go take a nap. No nap. Get over there. No nap time here. Get back over there and do that job. I remember one time I was just going through so many problems. You have those times in your life, and I was rushing from the ashram in India to Swamiji's house to help him, and he just had you going, It was like midnight. I was running back and forth, and I was in the middle of going between his house and our house, and I thought, gee, I got so many problems, but I don't have any time. And isn't it true? If you keep going, keep the energy going, did those problems go away? Absolutely. Because I didn't sit, let me sit with you now. That's a problem. Now let me take some time with this one. It's like when you get on the path, it's like, keep moving. And what happens is things just start, they're less and less and less, they less bother you. And your energy is rising, and your magnetism, and it takes care of the situations. We'll go more into that. So Master he was a master, don't forget it. But he taught us how to master our emotions, how to master our heavy thoughts, how to master our attitudes. And he had one time, this is an amazing, I've got some amazing stories. He was trying to go out around America to do a teaching tour. So his financial person, whoever that was, said, Master said, I'm going to go out. He says, no, you can't go out because you don't have any money. He says, I'm going. You know, I'm going. The man said, how are you going to go? You don't have the money. He says, I'm going. God will provide. He was walking in San Francisco, and this is an amazing story. A man stopped him and said, I mean, he was obviously different, and he was spiritual. So this man stopped him and said, I want to make a donation to what you're doing, to your work or whatever. Master said, you don't even know who I am. And the man said, yes, I do, from your eyes. Your eyes. He wrote Master a check for $27,000. Back then.
Yes.
Now, how did that happen? He was aligned with the divine energy, the divine magnetism. It was like a lightning bolt. Boom, that man came from out of nowhere. You see, you have to align your life with positivity, with God's energy, with the inspiration, with joy. And then one time he was moving a wishing well, and it fell, him and the disciples, and fell on Master's foot. And he said, oh, and they said, oh, we're so sorry. He said, that's okay. Then when they removed it, he said, now I'm going to show you, if I put my awareness at the highest center, the spiritual eye, this is something you can try. I will feel no pain. You're going to love it. I will feel no pain. And they didn't know, but he wanted to show them, even in that pain, he wanted to give them a lesson. So he did it. He brought his attention there, and they saw, okay, he looks normal now. They said, now I'm going to drop it back down. And he did. Then he brought it back up. It's a wonderful example of what to do. You're going through a painful time, you not sit, just even stand. Bring your awareness there. Center yourself within. And you'll feel that you're in attunement with a higher source then. Isn't it so? A wonderful example. And then also, once, in this Encinitas temple, you all are going down there, some of you, right, to Encinitas. And the temple, I don't remember the exact year, but because of erosion, it fell down the cliff into the Pacific Ocean. Master loved that place. He would ride, and so when it fell down, the people thought, oh, God, the poor man. And then what did he say? It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Why? He said, the best thing that ever happened to me. Because he said, Divine Mother wanted me to go out. He formed several more centers, lectured to more people, but he was enjoying that time of writing. And then she took it away. But you look at the attitude, best thing that ever happened. I remember Swamiji said that to me one time when I was just really hurting, and he said, Dhyana, it's the best thing that ever happened to you. I don't believe it. Yeah, I didn't say that, but was he right? Absolutely he was right. And you look at your life, you look at something that just really pained you, and look how you grew from that. Is it so? Look at the change that happened in you from that hard time. I look back and I just go, thank you, God. Is that so? Thank you, God. At the time it's hard. So Master was super positive, and then he got the Mount Washington Estates. You all are close by here. You can go with. That was not easy for him to do. He came and, he walked on that property and it was for sale. And he said, this feels like home. And the disciple said, we got to leave here. We're not even supposed to be on the property. And Master said, no, this feels like our home. and so they met the guy who owned it and all that. And it was, anyway, he needed $45,000. First it was $65,000 and then they reduced it to $45,000. He said he was about to sign, and then Divine Mother held his hand, and it was reduced to $45,000, which in those times was enormous. And one disciple said, it's going to take you 20 years to get that money. And Master said, 20 years? For those who think, 20 years. I love it. And he said, 3 years? For those who think, 3 years. And he needed it in 3 months. 3 months? For those who think, 3 months. So he himself did everything. He didn't sit there, God help me. I mean, he called people, he had the students come over, he showed the people around. I mean, he was working at it. It wasn't that he was passive. And then more and more donations came in. At the very end, he needed $5,000, and we were talking about this earlier, and he felt the strong wind just turn his face to the phone book to this particular woman's name, Mrs. Trask. And he called her up. She had the money. And he said, you must be here. Get over here. I need the money right now. She came. She was late, but she finally comes. They held off the other people. You see, all these things were happening. They held off somebody else who was just waiting for the hour to come in and buy it. And then Mrs. Trask shows up with the $5,000. And Master said, the drama was over and the place was ours. You get a lot of these stories. Is your life, does it have drama in it? Definitely. The drama was over and the place was ours. And then he added to that, Divine Mother likes to keep my life interesting. But then he was an avatar. So people come, I hope everything works out just the way I want. Well, good luck. But this is Master's life. So then think of your life. It's going to have some roller coaster rides in it. And he was always positive. You see, and here's what I think. Don't even just affirm a miracle. Create it. Create it. Put out the energy. I mean, I can tell you one miracle after another. I've seen them, but I worked for them. I didn't say they're, you know, I was like, make it happen, you know. We'll get to that part in a minute. Then you look at Swamiji's life. He was he was like Master, super positive. There was a time a temple burned down at Ananda. That one fell down, one burned down, I think one blew down. Anyway, there were different things that happened there. So then one of them, Swamiji had a sleeping bag and the temple was gone and he was resting on the ground, and Jyotishji went there and he said, I got to comfort Swamiji. So he goes over and he feels he's feeling bad. And what does he hear? Swamiji's lying there saying, joy, joy. This is how we learn. Joy, joy, joy. The temple's gone. And then the next day, Swamiji goes to the local store. And he's singing. And the woman at the counter, she says, didn't your temple just blow down? Burn down? She said, how can you be singing? He says, listen, I lost a temple, not my voice. Isn't that a beautiful response? And she said, I cried for 9 months when my house burned down, and he just didn't have it in him, you know. So did they rebuild? Of course. Now we have a beautiful big temple. And then they were going on the bus to ski, and I heard this from Deviji, and she was in the car with him, and the tires were balding. And so they had to stop to put the chains on. Anyway, the car starts going round and round, and it runs into a big bus. I mean, a huge bus. And the car was totaled. Gotta love these stories. And so then Swamiji, you know, gets out, and everybody, you know, they call the tow truck or whatever they have to do. And Swamiji looks at the bus. The bus was undented. Is what he said. He says, look, he tells all the students, look, that bus is going exactly where we wanted to go. Let's get on the bus. They get on the bus, and the people on the bus said, isn't that your car? And they say, yeah. So he says, yes. And aren't you unhappy about your car? And I love what he said. He said, I would be happy in 2 weeks. Why am I not happy now? Beautiful example. Right? They went skiing. Did they get another car? I'm sure they had to get another car at some point, but he didn't stop there and mope about it. He kept the energy going. I think that's the main point. Keep the energy going, and things just start happening, no? People come, somebody calls you and gives you something, and a friend gives you a loan back that you gave them. You know, it all happens. But you just have to keep the energy going. So we've learned that from Master and from Swamiji. And then Swamiji, with 2 people I know, he kept them well. Like one person, hey, you know Ramani down here. Mm-hmm. I love this. Ramani is one of my dearest friends. So Ramani, she lived in India for some time, and she had some surgery, nasal surgery. And, she was very unwell. After the surgery, it took a long time to heal. And so, she just wasn't getting better. So Swamiji heard this. And so I just talked to Ramani like 2 weeks ago. I told her to tell me this story again. And she said, Swamiji called me. And first she was talking to Miriam or one of the other staff. And then they said, Swamiji's here. He wants to talk to you. Swamiji got on the phone, and he yelled at her. He said, Ramani, you are well! And she didn't have it in herself to pick herself up. Swamiji, the power of his thought and his Shakti. Ramani, she said, I got well, believe you me. But that was an affirmation from Swamiji. Ramani, you are well. It wasn't, how are you? You are well. And our teachings are, even if your body is unwell, it's not you. Your soul can never be ill. My body needs a rest. My body's having a hard time, whatever, but not, I feel terrible. I'm, it's like, leave it. And another girl, a friend of mine, some of you knew Happy. Isn't it? Maybe one.
Probably just.
She's a wonderful soul. These are devotees like you and me, but they put into practice the teachings. And Happy she had AIDS. This was back in the 80s, 90s, anyway, 80s, I think it was. And so she called Swamiji right away and told him, she lived at Ananda village. And Swamiji gave her the best advice. I keep this advice for myself and I offer it to you. Whatever comes to you, he told her, don't go into the consciousness of the disease. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever it is, COVID or whatever, he said, don't go, meaning everybody's gonna die, because I'm gonna die, and everybody's died, and he said, just don't go there. Keep your practice strong. Wow, what good advice. The doctor had given her a year. What did she do? 108 Kriyas. Twice a day, energization, at least twice a day. She did affirmations. She got in her car alone. She drove around California, sharing, teaching other people, teaching affirmations. She wrote chants, she chanted. She did the max. 2 years. She's still driving around, teaching, helping people, sharing, energizing. Twice a day, 108 Kriyas, 3 years. She's still going strong. 4, 5. Doctors didn't believe it. 6, 7. She's still going strong. 8 years. 9, 10. I mean, that woman lived 10 years on affirmations. You know, what happened? The affirmations opened her up to God's power. And she helped herself. She didn't say, oh, I must lie in bed for the rest of the few days I have. She was out. She was teaching more than most of the teachers. She was going around. She was chanting. She was affirming. She was singing. Then I saw her. Davy and I went to see her at the end of her life in the hospital. You could barely recognize her then. And they said she was in a coma. So I went to say goodbye. They said she's going to die any time now. So I loved her. I went there and we had the harmonium. We were chanting, just a couple of us. And afterwards I went and I took her hand. And I held her hand and I said, happy? Because Master said hearing's the last to go when you're passing away. I said, happy? I know you hear us, but squeeze my hand if you do. She's still affirming. She was still affirming. And she'd come out of the coma. I went and told the nurse, I said, listen, she's waking up. She says, no, she's not. And I said, huh? Come see for yourself. She was waking up. She lived 2-3 more days. She called her friends, said goodbye. Pop! She left. What a story. It's a true one. Ananda, devotee, Kriyaban, disciple. These beautiful stories. Keep in your mind. Live by it. So, how do we do affirmations? Let's go into that. Then we're going to do some. Well, what we want to do is work with the levels of our thoughts. And the first level we're going to work with is conscious level of thinking. Now the mind is racing all over, so we want to grab it. We want to awaken it. We want to focus it. No? So we do affirmations first, and we do select Master's affirmations, Swamiji's affirmations. They're very powerful, and I'll share some with you in just a moment. But first thing we do with affirmations is say them loudly, with a loud voice, to grasp the conscious mind, to focus it. This is my intention. These words are my intention. So we say it loudly several times. Then we go into the subconscious level. The conscious level is where we analyze, we think, we work, we discuss, we talk. We're on that conscious level now. The subconscious is different. It's where memories are stored. We dream in the subconscious. There's stored karma in the subconscious part of our, it's like a closet. You open that, it's like, oh, that's old. But it's also things that help you every day, like tying your shoe, habits are there. And so the second level we work on is the subconscious level. And what we do is like open that closet door. First we wake up the mind, then we open up so that we can get at those habits, the karma, the thoughts that we don't want to have. And we say the affirmation more quietly, but several times, over and over, just like dissolving, purifying, working out, cleaning out the closet of the subconscious mind. Okay, then we work on the superconscious level. Conscious, subconscious, then superconscious is the higher level of our being. And the superconscious level, we want to plant the seed of that thought in our superconscious mind. Superconscious level is where we have intuition, we have high thoughts, we have inspiration, the soul's level of knowing God. higher awareness and perception is all in the superconscious part of our mind. So we'll do it more and more quietly in the subconscious, then we go mental in the superconscious. So loudly in the conscious, more quietly in the subconscious, and I'll guide you. And then mentally, we take that thought and we just plant it in the highest part of our being, of our mind, in the superconscious level. Okay, and finally, the last part is, how can we make affirmations work well? We're going to do them, but how is it going to work in our life? Let's think of a couple of things. First of all, you need to have a sadhana. You can't just do affirmations and I don't do anything else, I just affirm. That's not going to work. You've got to have a strong base. So I don't know what everybody does here, but do have some spiritual base that you put the affirmation on. You either do yoga, or you do energization, or you do hamsa, or you do Om technique, or you do Kriya Band, but you can't just say blah, 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 blah. You're going to have something that it's going to sit on, no? So first thing, have a sadhana and pray to the divine to help you, like Happy did, and like the other gal did. They had the help from the divine to help them to manifest that affirmation. The next thing is, it has to be something dharmic. You can't be affirming, you want to rob a bank or something, help me rob a bank. It has to be in tune with the infinite consciousness. So this is what I do. It might help you. I offer things up and I say, Divine Mother, if this is right for me, please help me to help you make it happen. If it's not right, I don't want it. And then some things just go away because it's not right for you. And so it's a good way to put it. Okay, and then talk to God about it, offer it up. Okay, here's the last one. Don't give up. Just keep working at something. If it's something you really are working at in your life, keep working at it. I think people just give up too easily. Well, it didn't work. The affirmation didn't work. Meditation didn't work. Energization doesn't work either. And notice the yoga postures. Well, it does work. You just haven't done it enough. So keep working at it, and then it may take you in another direction. It may take you another direction. But to sit and do nothing isn't going to help you at all. So keep putting energy into it, and then you'll see that some wonderful things will happen. I'd like to do some affirmations with you now. Okay, so one. I think you will enjoy these. Yeah, there we go. So before we start, I want to play a clip from Autobiography of a Yogi, an affirmative story. So I hope I'm still on the Bluetooth here. And let's first of all sit up, and we're going right into affirmations after this. Inhale, tense your body, and exhale. Let's try again. Inhale. Vibrate your whole body. Your arms are vibrating. Whole body. And then once more. Tense with will, willingness, enthusiasm. Exhale. Close your eyes and just listen to this wonderful story from Autobiography of a Yogi.
His remark struck a sensitive point. A young disciple of later years was with Master on this occasion. We were seated out of doors near the ashram, Prafula told me. A cobra appeared near.
Just a minute, I want to get exactly there. There we go.
My early months at the ashram, I found Sri Yukteswar's eyes fixed on me piercingly. You are too thin, Mukunda. His remark struck a sensitive point. That my sunken eyes and emaciated appearance were far from my liking was testified to by rows of tonics in my room at Calcutta. Nothing availed. Chronic dyspepsia had pursued me since childhood. My despair reached an occasional zenith when I asked myself if it were worthwhile to carry on this life with a body so unsound. Medicines have limitations. The creative life force has none. Believe that, you shall be well and strong. Sri Yukteswar's words aroused a conviction of personally applicable truth which no other healer, and I had tried many, had been able to summon within me. Day by day, behold, I waxed. 2 weeks after Master's hidden blessing, I had accumulated the invigorating weight which had eluded me in the past. My persistent stomach ailments vanished with a lifelong permanency. On later occasions, I witnessed my Guru's instantaneous divine healings of persons suffering from ominous disease, tuberculosis, diabetes, epilepsy, or paralysis. Not one could have been more grateful for his cure than I was at sudden freedom from my cadaverous aspect. Years ago, I too was anxious to put on weight, Sri Yukteswar told me. During convalescence after a severe illness, I visited Lahiri Mahashai in Benares. Sir, I have been very sick and lost many pounds. I see, Yukteswar, you made yourself unwell and now you think you are thin. This reply was far from the one I had expected. My Guru, however, added encouragingly, let me see, I am sure you ought to feel better tomorrow. Taking his words as a gesture of secret healing toward my receptive mind, I was not surprised the next morning at a welcome accession of strength. I sought out my master and exclaimed exultingly, Sir, I feel much better today. Indeed, today you invigorate yourself. No, Master, I protested. It was you who helped me. This is the first time in weeks that I have had any energy. Oh, yes, your malady has been quite serious. Your body is frail yet. Who can say how it will be tomorrow? The thought of possible return of my weakness brought me a shudder of cold fear. The following morning, I could hardly drag myself to Lahiri Mahashai's home. Sir, I am ailing again. My Guru's glance was quizzical. So, once more you indispose yourself. Gurudeva, I realize now that day by day you have been ridiculing me. My patience was exhausted. I don't understand why you disbelieve my truthful reports. Really, it has been your thoughts that have made you feel alternately weak and strong. My master looked at me affectionately. You have seen how your health has exactly followed your expectations. Thought is a force, even as electricity or gravitation. The human mind is a spark of the almighty consciousness of God. I could show you that whatever your powerful mind believes very intensely would instantly come to pass. Knowing that Lahiri Mahashai never spoke idly, I addressed him with great awe and gratitude. Master, if I think I am well and have regained my former weight, shall that happen? It is so even at this moment. My Guru spoke gravely, his gaze concentrated on my eyes. Lo, I felt an increase not alone of strength, but of weight. Lahiri Mahashaya retreated into silence. After a few hours at his feet, I returned to my mother's home, where I stayed during my visits to Benares. "My son, what is the matter? Are you swelling with dropsy?" Mother could hardly believe her eyes. My body was now of the same robust dimensions it had possessed before my illness. I weighed myself and found that in one day I had gained 50 pounds. They remained with me permanently. Friends and acquaintances who had seen my thin figure were aghast with wonderment. A number of them changed their mode of life and became disciples of Lahiri Mahashaya as a result of this miracle. My Guru, awake in God, knew this world to be nothing but an objectivized dream of the Creator. Because he was completely aware of his unity with the Divine Dreamer, Lahiri Mahashaya could materialize or dematerialize or make any change he wished in the cosmic vision.
Let's do a couple of affirmations now. These are from Master. This first one, I'll say it first, and then I'll have you join me line by line. First, it's going to be loudly, then more and more quietly, then mentally, then whispering, and then mentally. Think of these words as the words of Paramahansa Yogananda. First, listen. I will, with my own will, which flows from the divine will, to be happy, to be well, to be prosperous and spiritual, to be well, to be well. Now say it with me line by line. I'll say it and you say it after me. Sit up straight, focus at the spiritual eye, and repeat with me with conviction. I will, with my own will.
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 Which flows from the divine 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 will.
To be happy, to be well.
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 To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and
To be
spiritual.
well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
I will with my own will.
I will, with my own will.
I will with my own will.
I will, with my own will.
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine
To
will.
be happy, to be well.
To be happy, to be
To
well.
be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and
To be
spiritual.
well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
I will with my own will.
I will, with my own will.
I will with my own will.
I will, with my own will.
I will with my own will.
I will, with my own will.
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine
Which
will.
flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine
To
will.
be happy, to be well.
To be happy, to be
To be
well.
happy, to be well.
To be happy, to be
To
well.
be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and
To be
spiritual.
well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
I will with my own will.
I will, with my own will.
I will with my own will.
I will, with my own will.
I will with my own will.
I will, with my own
Which
will.
flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine
To
will.
be happy, to be well.
To be happy, to be
To be
well.
happy, to be well.
To be happy, to be well.
To be happy, to be well.
To be happy, to be
To
well.
be prosperous and spiritual. spiritual.
To be prosperous and spiritual.
Prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be well, to be well.
To be well, to be
I
well.
will with my own will.
I will with my own will.
I will with my own will.
I will with my own will.
Which flows from the divine 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 will.
To be happy, to be well.
To be happy, to be well.
To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and
To
spiritual.
be well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
I will with my own will.
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 Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine will.
To be happy, to be well.
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 To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be prosperous and spiritual.
To be well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
Gaze deeply into the spiritual eye. Feel you're changing the cells of your brain. As we say this, whisper and then mentally. Changing the patterns of your life. Say with me, I will with my own will.
I will with my own will.
Which flows from the divine will.
Which flows from the divine will.
To be happy, to be well.
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 To be prosperous and spiritual.
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 To be well, to be well.
To be well, to be well.
Any ailment, mental, physical, or spiritual, say it now in a whisper, very quietly, and just feel the energy is changing now as we close this affirmation. I will with my own which flows from the divine will. To be happy, to close with one more affirmation of Masters. And any healing, any physical, mental healing you have, just feel this affirmation changing that situation. I'll say it first. Thy cosmic current flows in me, through my medulla flows in me. I think and will the current to flow, in all my body the current to flow. I am charged, I am cured. Lightning flash flows through me. I am cured, I am cured. Let's do this together. Thy cosmic current flows in me.
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 Through my medulla flows in me.
Through my medulla flows in me.
Flows in me, flows in me.
Flows in me, flows in me.
I think and will the current to flow.
I think and will the current to flow.
In all my body the current to flow.
In all my body the current to flow.
I am charged, I am cured.
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 Lightning flash flows through me.
Lightning flash flows through me.
I am cured, I am cured.
I am cured, I am cured.
Thy cosmic current flows through me.
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 Through my medulla flows through me.
Through my medulla flows through me.
I think and will the current to flow.
I think and will the current to
In
flow.
all my body the current to flow.
All my body the current to flow.
I am charged, I am cured.
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 Lightning flash flows through me.
Lightning flash flows through me.
I am cured, I am cured.
I am cured, I am cured.
My cosmic current flows through me.
Thy cosmic current flows
My
through me.
cosmic current flows through me.
Thy cosmic current flows through me.
Through my medulla flows through me.
Through my medulla flows through me.
I think and will the current to flow.
I think and will the current to flow.
All my body the current to flow.
All my body the current to flow.
I am charged, I am cured.
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 Lightning flash flows through me.
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 I am cured,
I am cured, I am cured.
I am cured.
I am cured, I am cured.
Cosmic current flows through me. Cosmic current flows through me.
The cosmic current flows through me.
Through my medulla flows through me.
The medulla flows through me.
I think and will the current to flow.
I think and will the current to flow.
All my body the current to flow.
All my body the current to flow.
I am charged, I am cured.
I am charged, I am cured.
your hands together. Feel the cosmic current flowing through your arms, into your hands. Lift the hands up, palms facing out. Feel the current through the hands. Visualize that light, lightning flash, going to touch anyone you know who has special needs today. Let's chant Om 3 times together. Shanti, Shanti. 1, 2, ready, go.
Give me a light to light my way. Light so wise, give me a light to light my way. Truth is a light so wise, light to light my way. Truth is a light so wise.
Let's try 4. 4. Okay, so divide.
Although 4 maybe.
We're gonna try it.
Yeah.
You guys can divide it now.
Alright.
I'm gonna get on
We're doing
Hey, so size? Okay, so I'll bring you in. I'm gonna stand here because I have to help you guys. Okay, are we divided properly?
Yeah, are you
Are
guys
ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Okay.
That's right, camera's behind you. Okay, here we go.
Be a light to light my way. Be a light to light my way. Be a light so wise, be a light so wise. Be a light to light my way. Be a light so wise, be a light so wise. Be a light to light my way. Be a light so wise, be a light so wise. Be a light to light my way. Be a light so wise, be a light so wise. Be a light to light my way. Be a light so wise, be a light so wise. Be a light to light my way. Be a light so wise, be a light so wise. Be a light to light my way. Light is a light so wise, is a light so wise and
That was fantastic.
Very good. Great energy.
Okay, that's the only song I know, okay? No, I think we're done.
Okay.
Questions and answers?
In there.
In there?
Yeah, so let's close with just a prayer, a moment of silence, gratitude, this wonderful morning. Let's offer prayer. Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
great masters,
great masters,
saints of all religions,
saints of all religions,
beloved Gurudev,
beloved Gurudev,
we thank you
We thank you.
This joyous moment together.
This joyous moment together.
For thy teachings.
For thy teachings.
For our Guru Bhais.
For our Guru Bhais.
This wonderful center.
This wonderful center.
We bow in gratitude.
We bow in gratitude
To thee.
to thee.
Help us to carry thy light.
Help us to carry thy light
Into our lives.
into our lives.
Guide us.
Guide
Help
us.
us to use thy tools.
Help us to use thy tools
To stay ever more attuned to thee.
to stay ever more attuned to thee.
Om.
Om.
Shanti.
Shanti.
There's prasad now?
Yes.
Just in the next room.
Should we
Thank you.
Thank you. Here.
Nice to be with you.
Thank you. Then let's bless the food while we're here.
Okay, through the wall.
Through the wall.
Give joy in thy life the food we eat, for it is thine.